Hey guys, this is Study and welcome back to Comic Space, and today we are talking about the homecoming of the X-Men within the MCU, and I believe that it has been quite some time since we talk about Marvel Studios' X-Men reboot and the mutants. So today we have a major update about the potential roster for Marvel Studios X-Men, as Marvel Studios is also looking forward to making some major exceptions, and this adaptation is going to be a whole lot different. And as the film is supposed to be getting into the production sometime in next year, we are probably going to get a lot more news coming in, a lot more info, and how this adaptation is going to work out and going to fit within the multiverse saga and also the aftermath of Secret Wars. So again, we have a lot to talk about. Let's dive into it straight away. So our today's update is coming from Daniel RPK, and again, if you have been following our channel or have been part of the rumor mill, you know that Daniel RPK is one of the most trusted industry insider, and we like to give him a lot more reverence than any other source as well. So as I went on to state, the current treatment for the X-Men reboot does not include Wolverine right now, but the rest of the team is similar to the X-Men 97 but with more characters. Wolverine is an exception right now because Hugh Jackman have decided to stay, and probably after Secret Wars even. So again, I think major thing is that obviously we have some X-Men news here, but obviously we are also going to have Wolverine, but Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is going to be staying, and he's going to be staying for a longer run as the Wolverine, and which is again and quite a major thing that we will circle back to. But talking about the X-Men, and again, it just makes complete sense Marvel Studios moving forward with an adaptation similar to X-Men 97 and how they are going to approach the story and the characters, which is again Marvel Studios is going to bring on everyone. And another major thing as we move forward, I certainly believe that the X-Men reboot that we are going to see, which is by the way is going to come out at the very corner of Secret Wars. It is probably going to be coming around at the same year as well, given how much progress they have made, and the film is supposed to be getting into the production next year sometime. So it is actually going to be right around the corner of Secret Wars, meaning, and again, given everything, and if you kind of just piece out everything, it does looks like Marvel Studios is going to treat this X-Men reboot as they are doing the Fantastic Four adaptation and having those story featured in a completely different universe, which again makes in complete sense, and given the fact that it is going to be in some sort of a soft reboot of the MCU with lot of these characters coming from in completely different universes. And again, Marvel Studios does have to do that because they want to stick to the roots of those characters and the way they want to tell those stories, especially with the Fantastic Four, given how they're telling that story, and obviously not wanting to mess up the canon, because again it will be just way too much work if they are going to introduce mutants right now, which is again they have introduced mutants in the MCU in 616. Kamala being our first officially introduced mutant. Anyhow, the X-Men, we are probably going to see a lot of mutants in the MCU, but the X-Men are probably going to be coming out from a completely different universe. Anyhow, all of the X-Men universe that we have seen so far throughout the multiverse saga, and even moving forward, we probably can be seeing a couple more. None of those X-Men are actually going to be part of our main 616 continuity. I'm pretty sure, because again, it is going to be an X-Men reboot with all of the things that they have set up with the mutants and X-Men throughout the multiverse saga. It is only for Secret Wars, and again it also makes a lot of sense of them wanting to have those legacy characters coming back, but also to bring back those legacy actors as well, but also moving forward doing their own adaptation. And this adaptation is also going to be set in a complete different universe. Anyhow, at the end of it, it is obviously going to connect with our main 616 continuity, and I believe Marvel Studios is going to do pretty much the same thing the way they kind of approach X-Men 97, taking the pieces of the previous adaptation, taking the best of those adaptations from the 93 X-Men's original series, from the original X-Men trilogy, and even taking some notes from X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, which again Days of Future Past has been quite an pivotal point in throughout the continuity. Even in the multiverse saga it has been mentioned, and especially with X-Men 97. So again, it is going to be fun. But another thing to talk about, and that is Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is going to stay, and he's staying for a much more longer run, which again we knew that he was going to come back in Deadpool and Wolverine and was going to stay until Avengers Secret Wars for sure. We knew that, we already did figure that out, that was going to happen. We were going to have that major Avengers Assemble moment. I'm hoping that we are going to get another one with Sam Wilson's Captain with Secret Wars. But again, Even though it makes sense, I am really kind of surprised that Hugh is actually going to stay, and he's actually going to stay after Secret Wars even, which is again, Secret Wars is probably going to be the next project where we are actually going to see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine coming back, this new variant of Wolverine, which again makes complete sense because already everything that have been set up, there's an incursion is probably going to happen 10005 universe with a lot of things have been set up, so all of these characters are for sure going to come back. It also means that are we actually going to get a solo Wolverine film, or we are actually going to have this Wolverine story continued within that Deadpool franchise, let alone with Deadpool 4, which is again Deadpool just got introduced to the MCU, so it is still going to be a long way before we head with the Deadpool story within the MCU, and he still haven't exactly became a part of the 616. But anyhow, it is actually going to be quite interesting of how they're actually going to continue the story of this variant of Wolverine, and especially moving forward with Secret Wars and the, I think the aftermath of Secret Wars and the soft reboot that I'm assuming that is going to happen, and we are going to end up with this new 616 continuity with all of the history intact 100% from the Infinity Saga, with everything Fantastic Four included, with X-Men, a lot of other characters, and probably even a change landscape of 616 continuity at in some extent would happen, which I believe, because Secret Wars and the aftermath of Secret Wars is going to be very interesting to see how all of these things are going to play it out. And given the fact X-Men Reboot is also going to be right around the corner, so again, moving forward, it is going to be very interesting to see how all of these dynamics are going to work out, and especially from next year with a lot of projects coming from our studios theatrically and on some major projects on Disney Plus, but tons of things getting into the production as well. And from that point, we will actually get a lot more major updates moving forward and how everything is actually going to work out. So I think it is time for me to see you guys off on this one. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.